हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हो। मेरे इस YouTube चैनल में आपका स्वागत है। इस प्लेलिस्ट में आपको मिलेगा मशीन डिजाइन का पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग्स। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। पहला लेक्चर है व्हाट इज मीन बाय डिजाइन, या डिजाइन का मतलब क्या है, डिजाइन क्या होता है। Portion of this like this, then we'll cut portion like this. What is the fashion designer trying to do? A fashion designer is trying to fit this portion of the cloth over the body, trying to fit this portion of the cloth over the arm, trying to fit this portion of the cloth over the neck. So if you tell a tailor or a fashion designer that I want a shirt, I want a shirt, or I want a coat, what is the first question that will be asked? For whom? Do you want it for a 10 years child? Do you want it for a 15 years old adult, or you want it for 25-year old, or you want it for a 40 year, or you want it for a 60 year? Or the question asked will be, what is the size? What are the dimensions? What is the word that has come? Dimension. One shirt will not fit to everyone and each one. So you need to know what are the dimensions. Now, if I talk in terms of the chair, a chair is to be designed. A chair is to be designed. So obviously, you will ask me, or the question asked will be, to whom, for whom the chair is to be designed. Is it to be designed for a kid? How much is the load acting on this? How much is the load acting on this? Is it 10 Newton, or it is say 100 Newton? Should I have to design the chair for 10 Newton, or do I have to design the load chair for 100 Newton? Because a chair which is designed for 10 Newton, the dimensions will not be equal to what it is designed for 100 Newton. The size of the leg, the size of the leg of the chair, it will vary. It will vary for a depending on the load. If I use this dimension for 10-year-old, for a person of weight 10 years, for a person having weight 10 years, then what will happen? Nothing will happen. This will not break. But for a person of weight 100 Newton will sit on this chair of leg of dimension, this small dimension. What will happen? It will break. How it will break, that we are not thinking of. It will break. So neither this is correct nor this is correct. This is not correct. You understood why this is not correct. It will break. What about this? This will never break. Then what's the issue? Issue is we are putting money of say 2 or 3 chairs in one chair because we are adding so much of material. Itna material में we can make 3 chairs. So is it a correct design? Is it a right design? No, it is not the right design. So whenever we are designing something, okay, and after designing, what are we doing? We are finding the dimensions. Like I want to make this leg. I want to make this leg What should be this dimension of the leg? What should be this dimension? What should be this dimension? Okay, that is what is finalized. That is called as design. So the first thing that I will say about design is to find a dimension. For example, if I want to design a pen, then what is the diameter of the pen that we hold in our hand? 10 mm, 15 mm, 12 mm, something like that. If I design a pen of say dimension, uh, say 60 mm, then will you be able to hold it between two fingers, or you will need an entire hand to hold it? You need an entire hand. Will you be able to work properly with that pen? No. So when I say designing of pen, what are the things that will come? One is the diameter, and second is the length of the pen. What if the length of the pen is too long? Okay, we must have seen a pen of long length. Is it proper pen to write? No. What are we designing? We are finding the dimension. This should be the dimension in terms of height, and this should be dimension in terms of diameter. So designing means we are finding the dimension. This is the first thing. But is it only the dimension? No, it is not only the dimension. There are other things also which are followed when we talk about the word design. But the first thing is dimension. Now, I have just shown you the syllabus. In the entire syllabus, when we say about talk about quarter joint, knuckle joint, bolted joint, if it is a bolt, if it is a bolt design, then this is a bolt. What are we doing? We are finding this dimension. What should be this dimension? That is called as design. What should be this length? That is called as design. Okay. So on a broader scale, the first thing that should come to your mind in design is what? To find a dimension. To find dimensions. Second thing that should come to your mind when I talk about design is what? It is decision. It is decision. Why decision? See, when you are designing any part, you have to take a lot of decision. So before moving to the decision in designing of the part, I will take you to the small example of making a tea. Now for making tea, what you will need? You will need milk, you will need tea powder, you will need a burner, then you will need maybe sugar and some added elements. Now if I ask you to make tea, what will you ask? The first thing you will ask, for how many people I have to make tea. The procedure remains the same, whether I'm making tea for 10 people or 100 people, procedure remains the same. But what changes? The ingredient changes. The tea powder, the milk, then the sugar that is to be added, the amount for which it has to be kept on the burner, all changes. So I have to take decision how much should be the milk added, how much should be the tea powder added, for how much time should I keep on the burner so that I will get a good taste. I'm taking decision. So I have to make decision how much things I should add. So that is decision making. Now moving to our engineering design. Suppose you are designing for example, a shaft. This is a shaft which is to be designed. The front to end side view. Now, when you are designing, you have to identify what is the load acting on it, where is the load acting, and based on that, you have to design. You have to identify whether you will use Rankine theory or you will use guest theory or you will use any other theory. So this is the decision that you will have to take. How you will take the decision? Because if you design on the basis of Rankine theory, it may or may not be correct. If you design only based on the basis of guest theory, it may or may not be correct. So that decision has to be taken based on some facts that we'll see throughout the syllabus, that we have to take decision whether to design by this theory or to design by this theory. So that is the decision. So you have to every time take decision in designing. So design is what? Design is to find dimension. Second, design is to take decision. If I want to give another example of taking decision, then again come to the example of design of shaft. If by this theory it says that the diameter of shaft coming is 20 mm, If by this theory the diameter of the shaft comes by as 25 mm, then you have to again take a decision whether you will go for 25 mm diameter or you will go for 20 mm diameter. Okay, so you have to again take decision. What should I do? No, these decisions are not taken on the basis of we generally take decision on the basis of gut feeling and all that. Okay, here the decisions are to be taken on the basis of some formulas, basis on some based on some theory, based on some principle that we'll study. You cannot take any random decision. You have to take decision based on some or other fact. If it is a ductile material or if it is a brittle material, then how this material will fail? It will fail by what? It will fail at yield stress, and this will fail at ultimate stress. When you are selecting material, you have to first decide whether you will use ductile material or brittle material. It depends on the application. We should know what are the properties of ductile material, what are the properties of brittle material. Based on that, we have to select either ductile or brittle material. Now, once you select ductile material, here also there are a lot of material available in the list of ductile material. Even if I say mild steel, it can be 20 C8, it can be 40 C8, it can be 45 C4, it can be 60 C 8, something like this. So all these are the grades of mild steel. Which one will you select? You have to take decision. So throughout decision, everywhere you have to take decision. If for example, another example of decision, you design something, you design a part. Say again, take an example of shaft. You design a shaft, and uh, the shaft will fail by what? The shaft will fail by shear. Okay, if you don't know, you should know this by SOM, but even if you don't know, you keep my words that the shaft will fail by shear. Now, shaft will fail by shear. What is the material for shaft? I am using say 20 C8 as material for shaft. What is the shear stress of 20 C8? Shear stress of 20 C8 is say 250 Newton per mm square. So a shaft which I am designing a shaft of which material? 20 C8. And what is the shear stress that can withstand by the shaft? The shear stress that can be withstand is 250 Newton per mm square. Now, after solving this numerical on shaft, if I come to know that the shear stress is coming as 260 Newton per mm square, what it means? It means that this shaft design will not be safe. It will not be safe. It is not safe. What? Why? Because if it can withstand 250 newton per mm square, and if you are applying a load of if you are applying a load such that the stress induced is 260 newton per mm square, it is never given going to remain safe. If a person can hold two glasses in one hand, and if you are giving four glasses in the hand of that person, will he be able to hold it? No, he will not be able to hold it. He will let all the glass fall down, or all the glasses will fall down. So it is not safe design. So you have to take decision. If this is the case, then what you have to do? Whether you will change the material of the shaft, or you will add more diameter in the same material, or what? So all these are what? Decisions. So when you are talking about decision, the first thing is to find the dimension. Now here we found the dimension somewhere here. Okay, but then we have to take decision also whether the dimension is correct or not, or whether what technique we are using is correct or not. So I've given you two meanings of design. First is dimension and second is decision. No, this was the old concept that okay, a product is launched in the market, it will be sold by the marketing department, it will be sold by the sales department. The work of design and manufacturing team is over. They have produced the product and launch into the market. Now it's the headache of those people, sales people and marketing people, to properly advertise it and to sell the product. It's not the headache of the manufacturing and design department. This was the old scenario. What is the new scenario? New scenario is this: you launch a product in the market. The product is really a good product. The product is really good. It is less cost. It is of less cost. It is a durable product. Highly durable product. It is a reliable product. There is only one drawback in the product. it is dull in appearance. Dull in appearance. ARNC, appearance. In today's scenario, this, and this comes after this. What is this? Appearance. All the cars that are available in the market are aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing means they lure the customer's eye. They should attract the customer by its appearance. The if you have seen the microwave oven in olden days, that is around 10 years back, in today's microwave oven, there is design, there is some flower or something drawn on it to just to look it appealing, just to look it pleasing. Okay, we all, when you go for party or function, we wear good clothes. Why? You should look good. So same is the case now in case of material. Material, any product that you go and buy in the market, we first see that it should be aesthetically look good to us. It should be aesthetically pleasing to our eye. We should look good when we are using that product. If you remember that old Nokia mobiles, if someone give you, you will not use. If someone give you Apple mobile, you will use it. It does look good. Okay, so aesthetic is a integral part of design nowadays, and it it has to be taken care of by the design engineer, or you can call this person as a designer. So the design engineer, the one who is designing the product, what was the role of the design engineer or the product design person? To find the dimension and to take decision earlier. Now it's his role has increased. Aesthetic is also involved in it. Now how a design engineer will play aesthetic role? While selecting the material selected should be such that it is aesthetically pleasing. It gives a good look. It should have a low effect on corrosion, low effect on environment, low effect of environment, and all those things. The material selection plays a important role. Now, does this material selection affect the dimension? Yes. If you select two different materials, the dimensions will vary. Now, this is a challenge for aesthetic engineer, design engineer, that not only he has to select material which is appealing, but then he has to select the material which is less costly. He has to select the material which is give good dimensions. Good dimensions in the sense less dimensions, less costly material. So all these things are now added in this. So there is a topic for aesthetic. We'll see more on this topic topic aesthetic there. So look of a product is also a part of design engineer now. And last but not the least, ergonomics. Again, I will take the example of this pen. I was talking about this pen. Okay, if if you go and will you go and purchase a pen of 60 mm diameter? No, you cannot hold it between your 2-3 fingers. You need to hold your entire hand. If you are driving a bike, and this is the handle of the bike, and suppose somewhere here you are sitting on the bike, and your hands won't reach here. Your hands won't reach here. What? Or your hands reach here till the handle, but then you have to stretch a lot. If you drive for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, your hand will be in pain. Okay. Or the sitting position and then the footrest where you keep your foot, leg and foot, where you keep your foot. If that is not comfortable, then what is the purpose of purchasing this bike of 1 lakh, 1.5 or 2 lakhs? No, it will not be sold after few bikes are sold. Unless and until people come to know that drawback, people will purchase. Afterwards, they will not purchase. See, if a chair, take an example of chair. If you want to sit on the chair for say 6 hours and it is not at all comfortable, this edges, uh, if this edges pricks you, or this portion is not soft, then what will happen? You will not be able to sit on this chair for 6 hours. Gone are those days where people used to sit uncomfortably comfortable for 6 hours, 8 hours on the wooden chair. Now no one would like to sit like that. Yeah. So ergonomics is what? Ergonomics is ease with which the product will be used by the person. Ease with which the product will be used by the person. If your legs are hanging when you're sitting on the chair, and if your legs are hanging, what it means? It means that it's not comfortable. You can keep your legs hanging for how much time? 10 minutes, 15 minutes. After that, you need to fold your leg, or you need some support for your leg. So part should be, if it is a handle of a bike, or if you are operating a machine and the lever is too away, it's beyond your reach, then every time you will have to bend, or you will have to stretch your hand. Bend is too far. Even if you have to stretch your hand, then it is not properly ergonomically designed. You need not have to stretch your hand. Okay, so that is ergonomics. So these are the four things which comes into picture when we talk about design. It's not only the dimensions, design nowadays is dimension, decision, aesthetic, ergonomics, and that too at what? That too at reasonable cost. You say that, okay, sir, I am giving a good product, its dimensions are more, it will not fail. Anytime it will not fail. I have taken good decision. I have added so much of color, and I have made it aesthetically pleasing, and I have taken care of ergonomics also. Why will someone purchase your product if it is costly? So you cannot add things in this, because cost is always important. This is what is design. This is what is design. So with this introduction to the word design, so up till now I have talked only on the word design. This is how the design is important. Now we will see what is machine design. Machine design is. Thank you for watching.